Well, hello again folks, and I hope you're all still fitting well out there. Thanks again for all the comments over the last while, not only in this channel but my other channel, Hunter's Vermin, all wondering where the heck I've been since Christmas. I'm not the best at answering them at the minute, but I do read them. This was filmed back in March. It's on a piece of hill ground that I've shot on in the past and some people might recognise it. The lambing hasn't started yet, but it's not far away, so I decided to come up and see if I could get a few hooded crows. There's not much cover up here, so I placed the little pop-up hide that I use in tight to what little of a hedge there is, and then threw a camouflage net from Nighthawk around it, which is made up like a ghillie suit material, but it definitely helps the hide blend into the background a lot better. As you can see, the ground up here is quite overgrown and rushy, which can be difficult at times getting an open spot to decoy the birds down to and still be able to see them to shoot. As usual, I'm using a split open dead rabbit for bait, which for some reason this morning is refusing to let me shake its guts out. I also have a hooded crow with me to use as a decoy, but I've refrained from using it this morning as I think the birds are starting to get wise to it. I have the little 17 Hornet with me this morning, which is a CZ527 Varmint, which I bedded into a form stock. The scope is a Meopta 4-16x44 tactical, which I've mounted a Tacticam Solo and the FTS unit to film through the scope. And I also have a Wildcat Panther suppressor up front in 17 caliber. The first birds to really take any notice of the dead rabbit are some magpies. Now, I can legally shoot them for the protection of livestock, but it's really the bigger hooded crows that I'm after. So I let the magpies feed away and use them like live decoys to hopefully attract down some hooded crows. Now, a good bit of time has passed by this stage, as I found one of the local residents walking across the ground reminiscing about how he used to spend his childhood running around these fields. The two of us must have yarned away for well over an hour. As it turned out, we had both gone to the same secondary school many moons ago. Once he'd left, I actually thought of going home. Then I remembered the old gamekeeper's trick. Two men would walk to a hide, one would get in while the other one would walk away, making the crows think the danger had passed. So, as you've seen and can hear, I went out and set the dead crow I had brought with me as a decoy, and then started wailing away on the Nordic crow call to see if I could pull anything down. And it looks like it's worked. Unfortunately though, the bird I zoomed the camera in on wasn't the bird I shot. Thank goodness for the Tacticam Solo. The other crow wasn't far away, and it wasn't happy, but try as I might with the crow call, I couldn't bring it back down again. What did come back down though were the magpies, and since by this stage I'd sort of given up hope on having another hooded crow, the magpies were now in a lot of trouble, and when two of them sort of lined up for a possible double, I took my shot. Unfortunately though, I only got the one of them. I did go out after a while and set the bird I'd just shot up as a decoy, hoping that I might bring down the other bird, at least onto one of the fence posts where I could get a safe shot at it. For such a still, calm morning, the wind was really starting to pick up now, one of the reasons I prefer bringing the 17 Hornet up here instead of the rimfire. A bit more waiting, and the other bird finally came in. Unfortunately though, instead of landing on the ground, it landed in one of the treetops, which isn't a safe shot for a centre fire. Dear knows what that bullet might hit on its way across that valley, so I had to let it go. Well, something's better than nothing, and a few hours ago I thought I was going to have nothing, but after a bit of frantic blowing on a crow call, I managed to call a couple of crows in, and I think it was that bird there I took. Hung around to see if its mate would come back, and it didn't, but when a few magpies turned up, I took a go at them. Got two lined up and I thought I might have a double here, but it didn't work out. But I set them up as decoys. I tracked another bird, but it didn't land. So I'm getting cold, and I don't think there's anything more going to happen today, so I'm going to pack up and go home. Cheerio! Well folks, just the two birds this morning. I've actually had quite a few mornings like that this year for some reason. Though, saying that, I've had two good days where I got 7 apiece. But we'll leave that to another day, once I manage to edit the footage, that is. But until then, take care folks, and look after yourselves, hey.